Well, now to our smorgasbord of sports. What's happening, Robbie?
BYU is looking to bounce back from its home opening loss to Florida State. Head coach Bronco Mendenhall talks about his team's future. BYU basketball may not have opponents during the offseason, but head coach Dave Rose is battling cancer. He updates us on his condition. And women's soccer returns to the stadium at South Field. Highlights from their game against Southern Utah coming up next on Sports.
The snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. It is not going to make it. It is no good. It is no good. It is short. And it is wide. And it is no good. Maps intercepted, and this could go all the way. On the interception, off to the races. Greg Reed, 30, 20, 10, and a touchdown.
What a difference 2 weeks can make. After upsetting number 3 Oklahoma, BYU became an upset victim itself, losing to Florida State last week. This week, the Cougars look ahead to Colorado State, and Bronco Mendenhall says an undefeated season was never his goal.
I've never made that our first and foremost goal on the long horizon, and on the horizon I'd love to win a national championship, but this is a work in progress toward that.
BYU obviously celebrating its 25th anniversary of that first national championship. Well, in June, BYU basketball coach Dave Rose was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, the very disease that has recently killed actor Patrick Swayze and NCAA president Miles Brand. But after having surgery to remove the tumor, a recent MRI scan shows that Rose is now cancer-free.
Doesn't show any signs of returning right now, and so we've rescheduled for a scan 6 months from now. And that's a busy time of year, and it's later in March, and I would tell you right now that I hope there's a conflict.
We certainly do hope there's a conflict. Well, the BYU women's soccer team began a 4-game homestand last night facing Southern Utah. Game was tied at 2 in the second half when Carly Payne threaded it to Cassidy Shumway, who found the back of the net in the 69th minute to give the Cougars a 3-2 victory. Head coach Jen Rockwood has been very pleased with Payne and Shumway's performance thus far this season.
I thought Cassidy played extremely well. Cassidy and Carly are really finding some chemistry up top, and they're dangerous to some.
The sun is still shining and rock climbers are climbing. BYU Daily News reporter Weston Gleave explains why time is not on their side.
Summer is set and fall is here, so rock climbers are out getting as much time as they can on the cliffs before the cold of winter comes their way.
You know, there's that 4 months of winter where it's just too cold.
Yeah.
You know, fingers ache and everything.
Rock Canyon Park near Provo is one of Utah's best-kept secrets. Locals call it the Yosemite of Utah, and it's practically in our backyards. For climbers in Utah County, they're just a few minutes from a rock climbing adventure.
I live over at King Henry, so I can just cruise up here whenever.
You really only need 2 to rock climb, one climbing the rock and the other working the ropes. Equipment is a really important aspect to having a safe climb.
But to do stuff like this, the rock climbing, you need a harness, you need carabiners, quick draws, rope, chalk, shoes, and a partner, really.
Not only is rock climbing a fun way to get a workout, it's also a good way to get out and enjoy the outdoor beauty of the mountains, even as the days get colder.
Generally, people here in northern Utah come to rock climb until the snow falls. From there, they either head down south to places like Moab, or they go to indoor rock climbing gyms.
Rock climbing is one of those things you can do basically whenever you want. There are no entrance fees, at least for outdoor climbing, and you can go at your own pace.
It's a pretty stress-free sport, you know. You don't have a coach yelling at you to keep going, you know.
Until snow falls, people like Ryan and Austin will be out here climbing away. Weston Gleave, BYU Daily News, Provo.
Thanks, Weston. There's no telling how much longer we have until snow falls, so get out climbing while you still can. Football, soccer, rock climbing, this is a great time of year if you're an outdoor sports person.
And we have to get it all out literally before next week, like Brooke told us.
I better take up some rock climbing because I've never done it before outside.
There you go.
It's fun. You should.
Cool.